Alright, hello everybody. I doubt anybody really cares about this, but I'm going to record this. So I'm in the search for nickel ore. I'm playing MC Eternal. Uh, so let's, obviously our inventory is full, as we're seeing here, so let's home and go back to base. So I figured it would be worth taking time to show you what all is going on. So let me, and if nothing else, this is for myself in the future, so that I can look back and relive some happy memories of an old mod pack I used to play. And some things that I accomplished in that. Let's put that in there too. Sticks can go in here too. And hold on to that. So right now my living room is kind of a mess. I'm still trying to go from old stocking systems and all of that. And putting away the book that I know. So let me show you what I call my villa. So we're going to go out here, and yeah, I probably do need to do something about cleaning up. And I don't really mean to be carrying the shield, I just am. So anyway, waystones is how I like to travel, because I do have quite a bit of experience. I do have the extra inventory screen, which my brother taught me about, and I've enhanced my crafting screen on here as well. Both of these are from Cyclic, and well worth the time and do that. Let's just add spend some experience there, since we've got so much experience. So this is where I was growing all of my agricraft stuff. And when I was done growing agricraft and was built, I would breed 2 plants. So what I would do, gosh, I don't have any sticks out here. So let's grab a couple of these. Grab some sticks and some crops. So what I would do is I would work off in 3s. So 1, 2, grow a crop here. And then when the crop transferred here, you would break it, put it here. And then once they were built up, you double-crossed them and bred. That way you could always look down the middle line where the worms are and tell, oh, I either need to transplant the plant or I need to pick it up. And then I'll come over here to the seed analyzer, which sat right here, and analyze them. I did this all by hand, but we'll look at my new setup in a little bit. This right here are all seeds that go into a squeezer to make seed oil. And then I have LV capacitor, which I have for my water mills way over there. This is my Tinker's Construct, and originally my my smeltery was right out here. All of these plants that you see, and I don't know what, see, some of these plants keep missing, so I've come up with another policy on this. Because there was 3x3, and these are all tier 5s, just to prove. These are tier 5s, and they've been bred to 1010, so that I can get lots and lots of Inferium. And my Inferium didn't go into my inventory because I've been using a dank null. Shift-click to look at this, and you can see different items that I keep here. Some of it I try to keep all but a full stack, so cobble and dirt, gravel and sand I keep because they're good, useful materials. Some things like oak apple galls I don't really want, but I want to be able to store them there. And then like I grabbed a bunch of crystals when I was down below and so forth. I also keep ender pearls because I have an enderman farm nearby, and if I need them, and currently I really don't need ender pearls, and if I do, I'll just go there because I've got ender lilies growing as well. I found one and started with that, and I've been to the end, so I have plenty of those. Let me actually turn this down a second. Options, music and sounds, turn the music down a bit. So now it's starting to rain. It never rains in this world hardly, but the mineral trees are set up because I did a tutorial on integrated dynamics to set up my 10x10. But every one of these plants, zombie essence, guardian essence, coal, all the different types of berries like mulberries and blueberries and cranberries and blackberries or elderberries, I forget which one. All of these plants that you see before you are 10-10-10s. Over here I have a ground trap set up, so it will let me auto populate it, so I've got a bunch of grain bait that's going in there, but I've also got a bunch of fruit bait and veggie bait as well ready to go once that exhausts. And for right now I'm just storing it right here. I have a slime chunk here so I can grow a slime tree if needed. I set up a forester from Cyclic to do plants, and I had a rat that was out here harvesting it for me whenever it would actually work, and he would put the stuff in the thing for me. I hate those silkworm eggs. But he got blown up by a creeper, so I rest in peace, little rat. I have a bed here just because it's for easy access, and then what I have here is just a set of storage drawers, and I would just double click here and all my stuff would go in the drawers appropriately, and I'm slowly but surely moving this over to where I need to go. So here we have people talking about arboreal extractors. So I've set up a couple of these. You can't upgrade them, I don't believe. I do need to check and see if that kit will work on them. I don't think it will, though. Because if so, that'd be awesome. I need more tree oil. And then this is my house. It is still a work in progress. I want to build up the tower here. That is my wizard's tower. I have 3 tombstones, graves here that I'm using for spirits because I didn't realize you could have more than one. If I had, I would have done that a long time ago. I've got 3 and 3 water mills from Immersive Engineering over here generating power, so I've always got a background power source. But obviously that's not enough power, so we need more power. And then originally my mine went down there. I need to close that off and change that. And a doorbell from Cyclic as well, just for the heck of it. Over here to the right is my little Botania area. I don't have much in the way of Botania, but I've got a pure daisy here. So just ore vein this real quick and pick it all up. And put it in there, and we got stuff here. So put out another bunch of this, and let the pure daisy work on changing that over. I probably need to put some stone out here too. And then I have a bunch of ender pearls as well. It's 12 of them here, so let's catch all those. And I end up with 15 ender lilies. That's the thing with ender lilies. You either have too many or you don't have enough. And with the end stone, they're really growing quickly here. I mean, you can see these are already hitting the second stage of growth already. And then over here I have my pedestal set up for this. While we're out here, so I needed more arboreal extractors with tree oil, so I've set up some here, and these are all working. I like to come over here and make sure they're all yellow. I think you can only go from one log, so in theory this one goes to this log, and this one back here goes to the log behind it. These are 2x2 spruce, and they all go to an ender tank, which then feeds into my system. Likewise, I grew several spruce trees over here. Come around this side, getting a little lag there, sorry. And these all work. So these are all working, all pumping arboreal tree oil for me, resin, and, well, resin rather, actually, and bringing that in. So that's all coming in. But, yeah. Come back down, stomp, stomp, stomp. Eat a big burrito, because it's pretty good food, and it's what I've made. And then we'll come into my house. So in my house, we have elder planks on the floor and arrayed bricks from chisel for the bricks, so it gets bigger and smaller. We have lots and lots of books. I grabbed a moonstone, so I went to the moon, and all I got was this stupid shirt. It'd be cool if they do actually add some actual space exploration. The market, and this thing right here is the most broken thing in the world. It's a great thing under normal situations, but with 10, 10, 10, 10, not there. These blocks are there, so if I need them for scanner, I can do that. I'm going to do that with nickel shortly. This is placed just generally on top of the block. Some furnaces for various things like cooking up glass. I do need to make that recipe for that. I have an extra Tinker Forge in here. This is one of the things I like to do is keep an ender chest. And I just use green as my color, so everything green, green, green. And I switch an ender pouch with it. And I keep things in here that I may or may not need, like my scanner. Propeller hat, because I really like the height. A sleeping bag, golden lasso, a cheetah pet, a lumberjack axe. Different things like that are tools that I could use. I keep them in this chest. And then I carry the pouch around with me, because what I found in the past is that I might lose all the items if I keep them on me. But if I store them off-site and then use this pouch, it's easy for me to make another pouch, but not so much. These storage crates, I used to have several stacks here. I've actually removed a couple of them. I'm slowly but surely moving them. So I've set up a bunch of Ender item ducts from Ender.io so that the bottom one blue pulls up to the top one blue, purple turns to purple, and cyan turns to cyan. And that way everything matriculates to here. So in theory, I would keep pulling stuff out of this and sorting it, and then eventually this crate will empty, and then that crate will empty. Wow, a little bit of lag there from the server. and a little bit more lag there as we're joining in. And it's just kind of showing you what we've picked up and what we've got. So some of this stuff I don't really need. Some of this stuff I want to hold on to. And like arrows of slowness. This actually comes from Minecraft. So I actually have a space for arrows. I'm going to put them down here. Now I like storage drawers. So for storage drawers, I have, and I have chests here that my brother has unlocked for me. And I've got over here some more glass because I'm starting to try to build up. I'm thinking like a glass corner of my house here, so I can look out. And you can see I'm removing the hill as I move back into here and so forth. Got some destabilized redstone, some powders that I was using, a resonator with some grid power because I was using it as far away, a couple of armor stands, and I love the tool boards, especially for tools that I use quite a lot. There's my old pickaxe. Here's my current pickaxe, which has a in-steel head, a living wood handle, and I want to say an emerald binding, as memory serves. And just always picking these little red orchids. Probably not worth it. Engineer table, I get this. But anyway, here are my compacted drawers. Almost every one of these has, if I click on it, give it a second to load here. That is probably going to crash my game. Oh, there we go. Almost all of them have a fill level because I like being able to see how full it is. And that's silver. I don't really need it. But like redstone has silver as well. So I remember I have one of these here. The drawer key. I never heard about the quantify key till I saw somebody post that. But redstone, I thought that I had one in here for it, but I guess I don't. Let's add that. So now we can go up to 512 stacks. And honestly, like I said, emeralds are not a problem for me anymore. After I sold stacks and stacks and stacks of food, I have them there. Diamonds are still a problem. And nickel is actually not a problem, but what I want is nickel ore because I need platinum. And that's ultimately what I'm looking to do. I also have an item duct set up here with a docking station for my null. So I can click that there. And then the cool thing about item ducts is you can see it's pulling stuff out. And as it pulls the stuff out, it goes into this chest, and this chest is set up to an import on my AE network so it can pull in. And you can see my garden is growing stuff for me constantly. Basalt essences, blizz essences, blaze essences, nether quartz, and it's just yanking stuff into the network as it goes. I do have an acceleration card in here. I probably need another acceleration card of some sort. But you can see here my null is just emptying. And clearing itself of its inventory to the criteria that I have set it up to do. I want one stack of these just because whenever I see these, I want to be able to grab them. So that I just keep them in my null for that. I keep all of my wood that I have. And just, again, I'm trying to keep extra stuff. Mob drops that I grab a lot of. I don't need those all the time. And so we're pulling those all in here. Lots of redstone as well, which is good because I need that stuff. And some slate. And then whoops. We'll go down there in a second. Shift click and pick that back up. This is a Britannia. So Britannia I think is really good for dyes. And then I have a table here with a pestle. And just some various machines that I've been working on as well around. I have a jukebox, all that good stuff. So let's go down to the basement. Red nether bricks are my pattern. So, and I also have an elevator here, so I can go back up to where I was and back down. And we can go up. This in here is where I was trying to catch some rats. Don't have any in here bred at the moment. Well, not bred, but showing up. This is my seed vaults. So all of these seeds are 10, 10, 10, and yes, I've bred them like that. Almost all, well, pretty much all of these, and all of these were bred by hand. Painstakingly, 1 or 2 traits at a time, we got them up. And then we have even more here. Now you notice I've got 64 Signalum 10, 10, 10 keys. And 10, 10, 10 blaze seeds. I have 47 of those. The reason I have so many of those is because of what I have done up on the roof, which we'll get to in a little bit. Some creosote oil. Oh, and in the background you probably hear Bill Gates. I have put him in his cage, which is where I think he belongs. And he comes from the April Fool's gift as well. While I'm thinking about it, wow, I keep slowing down whenever I'm trying to do this. Normally my game doesn't do this long. I guess I have finally reached that point where I really got too much junk going on. And I probably need to reconsider what I'm doing with my life. I have a metal press set up here because it was cheaper to do that for gears, for wires and plates. And so you can put stuff there, it'll feed on here, follow the thing. And I might have a couple of trained rats. And I was using one of those to do that. Over here was originally where I had my crystal chambers and so forth, but they're hooked up to my AE network now. I do have these upgraded to Signalum, so I have ME interfaces on them. Note that when you do your configuration, you need to have it on this setting to interact properly with the interface. Then it'll auto inject and auto input and work with the ME applied energistics completely. Last night, as a gaff, if anything else, I decided that it was time to work on canola oil after watching Chosen Architect's video. So here I've got a ender chest, which is constantly filling with canola. So as my farm breeds canola, it puts canola into this chest. That's actually right here. And I'm just using ender chest so that it can be put anywhere. It doesn't have to be down here. And I may end up moving this one day. But I use smart cables because I can in order to check my channels. Like for instance, here I have 7 channels coming out. Those 7 channels then become 5 channels because 2. I have an export there for this chest and an import here for this chest. So basically these 4 inscribers up here will simply inscribe each of the basic circuits, silicone, Certus, gold, and then the diamond. And then it puts the general circuits there. I'm using this only to make the complicated circuits, and I'm slowly but surely, well, I guess I've got them all in here now. I feel like there's a processor that I'm missing, but they're all put there as well. These are hooked up to an energy acceptor, and then hooked up to the network here. So 7 channels becomes 2, because again we have the export bus up. Well, actually that's an ME interface up there, because we want to be able to have the crafting recipes. And then this is an import bus to pull anything that comes into this chest. And then there's item ducts back there that are taken from this chest, putting them down here, because they'll only go to the proper inscriber, and then they'll go to this chest here, and they get pulled back into the network. So 7 channels become 5, and this channel, there's 2 over here, because one for the advanced inscriber, which again makes the processors and the crystal growth patterns. I've only got this pattern made. I need to make more. And I went ahead and made the pattern for 64 because it was making 2 and it was putting 2 in at a time, and that's way too little. And I'm hoping with 64, I haven't actually tested it yet, I'm hoping that it'll go ahead and make a full stack of 64 at a time. Over here I have, and then my other 3 channels, of course, are the pulverizer, the redstone and furnace, and the induction smelter. And I'm slowly but surely generating recipes up here for each one of those as they need. I don't have any for these yet. This is my more recent projects. So my ME controller goes over here to this, so molecular assembler, and I have 5 ME interfaces attached to it. And I need to work more on exactly what all I have going on here. So 5, I don't believe the molecular assembler itself counts per channel, but the 5 ME interfaces do. The scaffolding is just so I can get around a little bit easier back here. I have coal ore. I've got my Fortune 3. I call it Moneymaker, so let's just go ahead and mine that, vein mine it, and get it out of the way. Over here for latex, you know, originally we need to charge Certus. That lever was intended to operate my farm across in the fields, but it never really seems to work, so I'm just going to ignore it. Down here I have, oops, we're going up the subscriber here. Down here we have 6 compression dynamos. I did upgrade 1 to Signalum just because I could, and they are burning tree oil. I did have refined fuel, but I don't know what's going on with the refined fuel. I do have them with an augment for increased output, and I am still working on getting the fuel catalyzer as well. I need to finish building those. Energetic infuser. I like to store my power here. You know, I guess I don't need that anymore. We'll take that down. Or did I break that? I broke that. And I turned my ME controller off. How did I manage that? Alright, well, you know what? There's no time like the present for this. So let's go back upstairs real quick. And I don't have any of that. Okay, we can just hook it back up real quick. So, LV connector.
really realistic.
Somewhere, and I didn't notice myself do it. Let's put this here. Why do I have 3 of these? I shouldn't have 3 of these. Let's hook it back up to that power source. Give it a second, it'll come back on.
You might wonder what I'm doing here. These games are getting really realistic.
Huh.
Hello,
Very interesting.
I'm Bill Gates.
Okay, well, I know what to do.
Microsoft.
Well, this is why you don't put all your stuff in the AE network either. I've been meaning to do this for a while anyway. So we need vibrant alloy, which we have quite a bit. So we have 16 of, and we'll grab 15 of those. And we need some conduit binders. Well, we're obviously not going to need all of that. We're just going to take it all. That's why I like the drawer key. It's now put in there. So we're going to plug those in, and like so. And make 24. That's plenty of those. We don't need all of those. And then those, just put it there. It'll go into the system where it's supposed to go. Of course, I put away my cables. Luckily, they're right there. So we're going to do that. We're going to go back upstairs. Actually, not upstairs. Going downstairs. So I've been wanting to hook my ME controller in here anyway. So let me do that real quick. So this is set up upstairs. I almost forgot about that. Okay. So let's bring this across. Go up. This is why I have the scaffolding in here, because it's just easier to work with. Running around on wires right now. Eventually I'm going to get this more set up. So we do like that, and see that it comes right back up. Okay. And now this thing can probably complain that it's really pushing out power. So now it's got hooked to power, and that power right there runs back there to power all of that equipment back there. And that's why that's there. This redstone goes upstairs, so like if I decide, because I feel like that thing pulls a lot of power, I can just click that right there, and if you watch up here, you'll see the lights turn off. And there's my crafting computer. I only have 3 monitors on it because I had 3 and it didn't seem to like it, but now that they're all hooked together, it does like it. I need to look up how to set those up better. There's always a little bit of residual power in the AE network. And actually, it might not even work now that I just did what I did, because I'm bypassing that system, actually. Because what I'm trying to do is, it would bypass the energy acceptor here. It was on the, that's where that thing was supposed to hook up to. No, we don't need that anymore. Just take that off. And actually, don't need that anymore either. I'm missing something. I've goofed up something somewhere. Oh well. I want to hook up all of that power source anyway. This right here is a fluid transposer with some liquid XP, which is where I got my basalts and all that good stuff from. So my power is going there, and then this power over here is doing very well. These are hooked up to a flux network, so I do have a flux network that is stored back here. So here's my flux network. Oops, sorry, right here. So these are flux plugs that plug in, and I have this basic flux storage. Probably should upgrade that, and then I have my actual thing. I call it Eon Power that I'm using for this. Yeah, so yeah, Eon Power.
Hello, I'm Bill Gates, chairman of Microsoft. Hello,
I'm thinking,
I'm Bill Gates.
why was my network off? I don't. Starting to wonder if my network was off. It's possible that it was. Anyway, here's my ender chest that is importing stuff. And then down here we have this. I'm at 261,000 millibuckets, or 261 buckets of tree oil that my fraction and steel here is producing. Notice I don't have nearly enough resin to fill this up, so even though all those arboreal extractors I showed off earlier is not doing this. This right here is a wireless battery from Extra Utilities. I lied to my brother about that. So Extra Utilities does the resonating power that lets me use power. This right here is my smeltery. So here I have my smeltery, and let's see, I have a block of molten obsidian in there. I don't know where that comes from. Where did, I don't know. But over here I have a couple of redstone clocks, and then I can just, I can do power, I can do these as needed. I can put other plates there. I can do generic ingots there. I've things keep spawning in there and dying, so I have coagulated blood that I've collected. I don't know where that stuff comes from, and it's too much blood to keep dealing with it, so I just let it sit in there and go. And then right here is where I keep all of this good stuff. Here's my alumite that I used to originally get my cobalt and ardite so that I could start doing all that. Okay, so let's go back upstairs. And then we'll do this old school and go upstairs to the second floor. This is what I call floor 2. I need to put another set of stairs there. Here are the solar panels that are giving me my grid power. I have 24 of them. And then, of course, we can just walk over there right now, which is not exactly what I want to do. I think what I'm going to do is put a door here, and then I can just walk out over there like I need to. So anyway, Cooking for Blockheads is a mod that I'm new to here, and I really, really like it. So I'm using the milk in a jar from the cow. It makes 8 buckets, but the cheese curdled station from rats can only hold 5. So I can just fill up a thing of it and then turn it off, because otherwise it drives me crazy to sit there and watch it click over it. But this right here is something I'm very proud of discovering. I like storage drawers. I really like storage drawers, but I also like AE. And so, I also like Cooking for Blockheads. And so here is the best of all 3 worlds. So here are all my pieces of food that I have been cooking, and for a lot of these I have both the emerald upgrade and the fill upgrade that allows me to really fill these up. You'll notice most of these aren't even beginning to hit, but I mean, really, do I really need 1,000 Brussels sprouts? Of course not. So I can pick up a whole stack of Brussels sprouts, come down to the market, click on the market, mouse over this and click use, shift click, put it up there, and I have 2 more emeralds. I have gotten stacks of emeralds from doing that. It is very broken, probably. I often get things of milk whenever I can, so it's not unusual for me to come here and do milk because the cows are constantly producing milk. Shift click, and now I have all this milk, and I can store it away in my fridge. And I can use that milk to cook other things. I used to have these drawers filled with food, but it was confusing to know where is my food and what do I have. So these are really items that I have prepared, cocoa powder and things like that, and not so much these melons and things like this. So what I'll do with this is click here, and then I can just double right click and everything goes away. I don't have any food items that need to be stored down here, and they're all in their appropriate slots. In addition, this has also been hooked into my AE network with a storage drawer. It's given a priority of 1100, which is lower than the priority of the storage drawer down here. So let's go down. These are extra storage crates. In theory, I was going to put storage interfaces behind here, but I haven't needed that storage yet. But here, this drawer has 11, 11, 11. So 11, 11, 11 is my highest priority. Everything should go to these storage drawers first. After those, everything should then go to the 1100, which is up there. And I know it's not really a sequential number there. It's just easy with the interface they give you for applied energistics. And then I have 3 storage ME drives. So this ME drive is 110, this one's 109, and this one's 108. And that way everything has its priority. So the storage drawers should go after the storage drawers have been filled. Yes, I have a lot of blank spots still available, but I don't want to fill these things up just yet until needed. Let's go back upstairs. And I do have 2 sets of elevators for that. You'll notice I have crystal growth patterns here. I'll show you what those are there for in a little bit. Cookie. I've got fortune cookies and cookies. This is important because if you go to quest, yes, I do need to turn some quests in. Again, we're getting a little bit of lag. I think it's because I'm recording, that's why. And here I am at 30 minutes already. Let me zoom out so I can actually see what's going on here. So in the farming and agriculture tab, there is a quest for cookies. And so I'm trying to get all those cookies to complete this tab. Why do I want to complete this tab? Because if you go to unlockables, it says if you complete the farming chapter, I can get gold seeds. And I can't craft those that I'm aware of, so I need to get those. And these are all unlockables at this point. I don't know if it means I can just buy it with 40,000 coins, How many? Right now it says I have 0, which is not true. So let's just go and claim some coins. I have 726 is what I really have. I've run out of disk space, so I need to finish up this video. So anyway, there's that. Let me go downstairs and sleep. I need to get another hard drive on my real computer too.
These games are getting really.
All right, up, up. And then on my roof, I have this contraption here. This contraption here is supposed to be breeding these plants. This was a long video, about a 30-minute video, but it took me about a good couple hours to go through it and do it. I have a sprinkler set up with an endivore to get this going. I'm doing bees over here because I like bees. And honestly, I really miss doing bees for the sake of resources, but I don't need to do bees for the sake of resources because I have AgriCraft. These are all seeds that I want to put into the integrated dynamics machines here to get this up and running. So what it's doing is it's breeding this. This has a total of 21. We want a total of 30, 10, 10, 10. And it's setting, it breeds these off, and it cross crops them, and then it'll take this one and compare the two, and then it'll put down cross crops. I do have a set of garden cloches set up from Immersive Engineering. I did not realize, but that square thing on the back auto outputs to a chest. All I have to do is put a chest there. So I have, well, we look at it from the side here, I have lines of water that are coming from that endivore. And I over here, because I'm also getting ready to set up another line of cloches on this side. The power input for this is just kind of ridiculously crazy. So there is my flux plug pulling in that power from down below. We have a thing of tier 5 Inferium, a thing of 10, 10, 10 nether quartz. I don't think the 10, 10 mean as much. Here's my canola. I'm wondering if I really need a second set of canola, but we seem to be breaking even right now. Melons, because people swear by melon power, so I'm looking into that. I want to build up some melons first. Redstone, because you always need redstone. 10, 10, 10 signalum. 765 silver. We need to get silver up, which is I think what it's working on over there. 978 vibrant alloy. I need to finish breeding that up. Energetic alloy. Steel. Yes, I breed steel. Iron. Can never have enough iron. In steel. It's only 111, but I'm getting what I can. Bronze is at 977. Electrical steel is at 71010. Saltpeter